Welcome back to another episode of our Without the Hysteria series. Today I'm excited to talk to you about social media without the hysteria. I think this is a big one for people, for therapists in particular, I should say, because I think a lot of therapists, they spend a lot of time on social media, both for personal use and on all these therapist Facebook groups, but they also use it, I think, to promote their business, not knowing a couple things. Of course, not really knowing why and not knowing if it's really working for you. So I want to start today by first asking, like we've done with these other episodes in this series, as to why social media. Why are you spending this time publishing on social media and using that as part of your approach to market your business? Okay, so in general, I think social media is great. In terms of for private practice, I think it's great for brand recognition, and that's really about it. I think just publishing, inspirational quotes on Instagram or pictures of you on Instagram, in terms of promoting a private practice, again, I think there's fairly limited value in just doing that, in just posting stuff for your private practice. The reason being, a little common sense marketing for you, is that people aren't going to Instagram to find their next therapist. Same thing with Facebook. They're not going to Facebook to actively find their next therapist. That doesn't mean that you can't have effective results with things like Facebook ads or Instagram ads to promote your private practice or to generate even new leads, but when we separate paid social media advertising out from just using social media or social media engagement, the two are quite different, and it's really important to know why you're spending so much time posting on social media to promote your practice. So again, I think brand recognition is a big one, and just making sure that you are staying present in the minds of people. If you want to use social media for other kinds of engagement, or let's say a lot of your current clients follow you on social media or follow your business Instagram profile, you might use it as a way, kind of like you use with email marketing, to let them know about something that's going on in the practice, or you moved to a new building, or you hired a new clinician, something like that. You can use it as a way to kind of make promotions within your practice. But again, most therapists, I think, are generally concerned with getting more leads or getting more clients in the door for their practice. And for that reason, I think social media is kind of on one of the lower rungs in terms of what you should be doing now to get more clients. So if you just want to get more clients, I think focusing on social media right now is going to be more of a distraction for you than anything. All right. So let's say you've decided that you are going to use social media, or maybe you'll have someone on your team use social media. Let's talk about how to use it effectively. Number one, you should pick your platforms, right? And by picking your platforms, I think you should think about who you're talking to, right? So who's your audience, and where do those people hang out, right? So there's definitely a lot of demographics data you could look at in terms of who mostly uses Instagram, who mostly uses Facebook, etc., who's on Twitter. And I think you should look at that information as it applies to your audience in particular. Okay, so, or you might already know where your audience hangs out, especially if you hang out with a very particular kind, or if you target a particular kind of client, not hang out with them. Hopefully you don't hang out with your clients, but if you do, hopefully you do it ethically. So once you've picked your platforms, I highly, highly recommend creating a content calendar. And you can and should use this content calendar for everything, including your social media posts, your blog posts, your podcasts, your email marketing messages that will go out. You just want to be organized, and you want to think ahead. You want to think ahead and plan ahead, especially if you have someone like a virtual assistant or an admin assistant in your office who's helping with social media. It's really, it reduces so much of the mental stress when you know exactly what's going to be posted when. So highly recommend creating that content calendar, and then of course publishing consistently. If you aren't doing social media consistently, it's not doing you any good at all, right? If you've spent all this time building an Instagram following and then you only post, once a week, you might as well not have the account. It's really not doing you much good, right? And unless you can convince me that posting, once a week has actually resulted in more clients, then it might not be, useful for you to use Instagram at all. Again, going back to why social media, in terms of generating completely new leads or generating, new leads at all, social media is unlikely to be the place where you're going to do that as a therapist in private practice. There's 100 different kinds of businesses that it does work really well for, like an online business or like this business, for example, right? So for an online business like Private Practice Workshop, certainly social media is a big part of the game, and paid advertising on social media is really effective for something like this. But for a brick and mortar practice like yours, you just want to be more thoughtful about how you're using social media and whether it's actually working for you and getting you more clients. All right, so after you have created your content calendar and you're publishing consistently, make your posts uniform, make them on brand. The way to do this, or the easy way to do this, is to go to canva.com, that's canva.com, canva.com, or something like that, and create some social media templates for your posts. Right, so they should all have consistent colors. So if your brand color is purple, then all your social media posts should have that particular purple. Another little tip is that purple actually has like a code to it, or it has like a sequence of letters and numbers, and you should actually use that exact description for the color that's on your website, that's on your social media posts, that's on your business cards, etc., to make sure everything is on brand. That's another term for you when things are on brand. You want to try to stay on brand as much as you can, especially when it comes to your social media. It's really impressive when you go to someone's Instagram or something like that and you see everything is very consistently branded and clearly done well, and done within kind of the style guide of their brand. So create those templates on Canva. It's also going to make it just a lot easier and faster for you, in addition to just looking better and being more impressive for clients or potential clients. Number 5, use a scheduling software like MeetEdgar. That's what I use and recommend, or outsource your publishing. Have a virtual assistant or someone who's, maybe you're hiring someone and they're actually managing your content calendar and also managing MeetEdgar itself. So it's publishing on its own. Don't spend all this time laboring over publishing every single post manually. So again, the bottom line here today is that if you're going to use social media, know why you're doing it, do it consistently, do it well, don't let it take too much of your time as a business owner, and if you want to really commit to it, ideally you outsource at least most of it, and you batch most of it, of course. So a lot of the same points as these other episodes. So you're seeing the themes around this series, that Without the Hysteria series. But make an informed decision as to whether or not social media is going to be a part of your approach. And I can also tell you, for my group practice, it is not part of our approach. We don't do anything on social media, and we do quite well without it because we have other things that work really well. So you don't have to. Don't do it just because you feel like you have to, or you see other therapists doing it. But know why you're doing it, and if you're going to do it really well and commit to doing it. You might even just commit to doing it as an experiment, let's say for the next 3 months or something, and see if that increases engagement with your business or increases new leads being generated. So, that should be good for now. I mentioned this in the last episode, but I am asking for your questions, for you to submit your questions for the show. You're going to record it, the audio from your phone or computer or something like that, and for a chance for your question to be answered on a upcoming podcast episode. So when you submit your question, you're also going to be entered for a chance to win a free copywriting session with me. So go to speakpipe.com/PPW for that, and this link will be in the show notes. That's speakpipe.com/PPW to submit your question. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next time.